What up, guys? Silver going up $5 every 10 minutes. BTC on the climate, and so is Monero. Silver's going up because it's getting pumped by boomers. Yeah, everything's kind of going north, but ignore it, brothers. Monero's point isn't price action. The point of Monero is privacy. But God, man, I am not gonna lie. One tiny thing was causing an SSL issue with my fucking Proxmox cluster, and I was about to put my head through the thing. Hey, what's your spaces do you have on Graphene OS? Like, how do you split up the users? So, space-wise, I have a main profile that has... This is how I did it, and this is how it works for me. What's up, Bo Jackson? So, with Graphene OS, I personally run my main profile, and my main profile with the Google Play services installed, and then I have spaces. I have private spaces on that profile. This, in general, is a very simple thing that is the most easy and the least cluttering and least usage. I did it that way because I have a normal job, so they require me to have certain applications that I need to use, and I need to make sure that I can get notifications. I am living, Billy. What's up? Billy Mays, Billy Bay, lots of Billy Bojacks. Bojacks. So that's how I set that up, and then all my other application, my other user, I have a specific user for YouTube, for my for all my notes, for my content creation. I just separate that just to get away from it, so I'm not constantly getting bombarded with notifications. That's where like my Discord, my Matrix chat kind of like sit, and that's pretty much it. Like I only have 2 user profiles, and I have a private space. The private space is mainly when work kind of needs me. I do all that. And then I do all my applications. Actually, the most of my applications that are outside of the Google Play sandbox are either installed through a Crescent or Obtainium, so that I can have much more granular control with, minimize distraction. That's really what it is. I mean, it's not. It's not that, like, I mean, I would just get bombarded with fucking notifications from a ton of stuff, so. And I try not to doom scroll and get caught on, like, Twitter or anything, or Blue Sky, or Mastodon, or any of the other platforms. Not that I hate it or anything, but I'll just get super fucking distracted from thinking of ideas, I guess, in a sense. But other than that, like my setup is pretty minimal. On my second profile, that's where I do more experimenting. I'll do like F-Droid installs, like of certain applications that I want to use. Kind of in a sense, that's where I put my F-Droid. Like I'll look for apps that I really want to either integrate in a FOSS sense or like test out, and I'll do it kind of there. That's where I do a lot of the experimentation. That's how I kind of have, I think the most optimal setup is for me. Now, if you want the most private setup, in theory, you would create a main profile. Yeah, Obtainium 100% all the way, except that G services shit that must have gained his like banking. Yeah, you can, if you can get away with progressive web apps, that would probably be the better option. So there's a lot of banking apps that do. It's really just a safety net kind of thing issue, but I agree that it's probably the best option. I mean, banking apps I get why they do it through the Google Play service. To be completely honest, like I wouldn't want to download an APK of like my bank from just a random site. That would be a little bit harder. I wouldn't. I generally 99. What are the best VPNs in your opinion? It kind of. I mean, Mulvad, iVPN. Really, to be honest, maybe Obscura. I think they give the best options. No, there's no really the best, but Mulvad has the best track record, and the fact that they accepted a Monero for a very long time. Their pricing has been flat pretty much for the last 10 years. They're always improving their technology. Maybe them. I think they're the best in terms of usability. I think they add the most impact, and they have the best setup, and they have for a long time. Yeah, I was torn between using banking through their website. So there's pros and cons. The pro of using a progressive web app is now you are trusting your browser to handle the security aspect of it. I mean, most Android applications, from what I understand, are sandboxed anyways, so that's fine. I generally do not try to criticize the creators of products, but the person who made that is very cringe. And I don't like anything that's crypto backed or like uses their own token or has a tokenomics ideology. That's why I think they're kind of gay. It looked cool, and then I watched an interview, and then I read their paper, and I was like, no, I'm good. To be completely honest, I was like, this guy's no, thank you. He just screams. It just screams cringe. It's just very cringe. I had hopes for the SPN safing through Portmaster. They were going to do the SPN. I had huge hopes for that, but they got sold to iVPN. iVPN is supposed to like take safing and kind of make it better. Apparently, they're supposed to do something similar to what NIM is doing. They're going to make it like a per IP address basis. So like if you have like say your banking app needs to be in America, you do an American VPN like connection, and then if you want to do like Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, you do this in like it creates another IP address connected to another server. That'd be kind of cool, like just split tunneling all your applications to reduce maybe attack surface. That'd be kind of base, but not entirely sure if that's ever going to work out. iVPN's very slow to adopt stuff. No offense to them. Maybe I just don't check on them enough, but that's the gist I get from it. But if you're going to use a banking app, if you use a progressive web app, you have to make sure your browser's update and you're using a secure browser. On Android, Chromium is the only sandboxed option. You don't really have another option. That's the problem. So it's kind of like you're kind of like Brave or Chrome. Like the Firefox's only decent solution out there is IronFox, to be completely honest, and you're still entrusting like Fire. I don't know if it's still even the sandboxing is correctly implemented on Android. Anyways, wouldn't really trust it. I would just use Brave. If you're going to do a progressive web app or like you're banking through the web browser, just use Brave. That would probably be the best secure solution to do it. But if you're not going to and you kind of need like access to your apps, just put it in a private space and then turn it off. Private space, turn it off, because private spaces take everything just like a normal space, and it puts it at rest and encrypts it and kills the connection. Like it's not collecting data while it's sitting in the background. That's kind of like the benefit of private spaces. It does the same thing as a user space, and essentially with less that's a little bit more convenient. From what I understand from the documentation from Graphene OS, they implemented it a lot more. They had to implement it in I believe a different way, if I'm not mistaken. Very based that Monero's price rise is happening, but I don't think people should really care about it. I think people should look at this. I hope the price hike brings people's attention to Monero, and instead of then once they discover how great Monero's privacy aspect of it is, they just kind of forget about the price and just start buying and using Monero. I mean, sometimes I get like a tiny bit of FOMO, mainly because my purchasing power gets less because I can obtain less Monero. But the Monero that I use to buy stuff like on a consistent basis has always been a nice. I think this is actually Monero's all-time high in its entire history right now, which is kind of based. There is a theory that it's going to get mainstream adoption just due to the fact that it's a lot of countries are trying to ban it, so it's kind of like the Streisand effect. The more you want to get rid of something, the more you want to push something down and suppress it, the more people put their eyes on it, and the more interesting it looks. And then the price, with the price action on top of it, it's going to create like, oh, well, there's an actual option. I can buy this and I can see my money grow. Because I do think that that's what the average consumer is going to care about. They're going to care about price. The thing is, like, a few things, I mean, just in general, this isn't like, should I get some Monero? Always. You should always buy some Monero and use it. I've thought about doing a video on how to use Havno, how to set it up. It is quite annoying in a sense. Maybe, well, I can do it right now. I can do it in virtual. I would like to do a video maybe on actually using Havno or Revno and then showing people that, like, if you send out physical cash, you will get your Monero in return. That would be maybe kind of cool, but I mean, whatever, I'll consent. Don't ever consent though, guys. So Monero's, I guess, like, average person, can I spell average? Am I retarded? Yeah. Person is going to only care about a few things. Average person is only going to care about things. A few things. Does it go up? Or as the Zoomers would say, burr? Does it print? That's going to be one thing. I mean, I don't care, and I don't think people should care about the price. They shouldn't care about the adoption of. They should care about the fundamentals of it. But that's whatever. It's not going to really. That's not going to change how humans how humans interact with stuff. How hard is it to buy, and then the last thing is how hard is it to spend. Like, where can I, or liquidate? Like, because people might want to liquidate for fiat. I don't think that that's a good thing. I don't think you should liquidate for fiat, but do you in a personal sense. But what I think can help Monero adoption is kind of like really just a few things. Showing people how to buy and use Monero. I think that's one thing, is like, and then not only how to buy and use Monero, how to store it safely. Man, I can't spell today. I'm retarded. I got some brain damage. How to store it safely. So I think showing people how to buy and use Monero, and then I guess like show like maybe some price appreciation. Have no is good. It is good. It just it scares it scares people because of how it works. I got in there a few days ago. That's good. I think people need to get away from the fear of it because it's got such a good system. I mean, if you just look at Havno, there's Revno. Revno is more of a front end that's easier. They have an Android app too. There's like a way they forked it to make it look sexier. I got it to work somehow. I don't even think that the price of, again, Monero is like the main point, but it's built on Tor, and that makes it essentially decentralized. You now have the ability to buy Monero peer-to-peer without any central authority. What is Zcash's price? It's got to be fucking... I saw someone like cry about it, and it was really funny. Yeah, it went from $700 to like $300. Monero hits an all-time high of 445. Investors flee. See, that's what I'm saying. No one's ever cared about Zcash. Zcash heads have never. Back to what I was saying. You have to start it on the command line with a desktop icon. Yeah. Yeah. There's Revno. Revno is like... Hey, what's up, OG? GNU? God, what's it called? I thought they changed their name. No, this isn't it. Yeah, this is it. RetroSwap. I thought it was called Revno or something. What's going on, Code? Hope you're doing good. Appreciate you coming back. Yeah, so this is pretty much powered by Tor and Havno. And they have a way to do this. Their SimpleX server, by the way, is terrible. Never join it. It's really bad. There's a way to do this on Android. You can actually do... I've done this on Android. Let me just do a... Is this shit fixed yet? Zero fees, by the way. The fact that they've done this at zero fees is fucking crazy. I think they just have, the people that made it might be afraid of what happened. Oh yeah. It crashed. Your boy here built an AI generator using TypeScript, Dino, and LangChain. Sorry, I've been missing streams. No, I haven't streamed in a couple days. I ate massive donkey shit on my cycle, and that shit hurt. So I haven't streamed in a couple days. I had to take I had to pop a couple perks, some perk 30s. Let's see. What should we use? Where's Linux ISOs? Is there like a normal? I have so many weird fucking Linux distros. I seriously don't have a normal, like, just a normal OS. There's Solus. Solus is such a... That should work. There we go. Maybe? Okay, cool. I wonder if I can install this. Create new. Let's look for the terminal. Or I think he uses console. Console, and then let's open Firefox. This is Solus. So Solus is a LFS Linux distro. Oh, I hate Casio OS. I had a bad experience with it. I've installed it. I installed it way before the hype. Not to sound like a hipster. Solus OS, one of my favorite Linux distros I got to use way back when it was like super beta. Loved it. It does a weird pack. I forget the package manager it uses. It's kind of a funky one. And it essentially is a LFS. It's Linux from scratch. It's a Linux from scratch build. They use their own package manager. Let's just do that. Very based, very cool, very lightweight, very chill. Love it. But it's a weird package manager, and they had some controversy. And I used Bungie or something. It's beautiful looking. It's just a beautiful looking distro. It's very chill. I like the background. It's very nice, very calming. I installed it on my friend's laptop without telling, because their Windows was bloated, and Windows was very bloated, and I was like, hey, I have a solution. Sudo apt install snapd. Snapd. Oh, for snap packages? I'm a snap hater. It actually, it doesn't use, it doesn't use that. It uses EK. Oh, I'm not gonna remember this. What is the package manager of this fucking thing? It's like EPO. EP, no. What is the package manager of this fucking thing? It's a weird one. It's a weird way. It's kind of like Avoid. EOPKG. So it's like EOPK. It's like package, and then like that's how you install stuff. It has dependency handling, package search, and system rollback through transaction history. It's honestly a very sick distro, very underrated. We all hate snaps. True. Yeah. Yeah, I hate app images too. Open terminal here. Sudo chmod. Oh, maybe I can do it without sudo. Nice. Look at that, baby. App image sucks ass. True. Agree. So RetroSwap is kind of sick. It's going to connect to the have no network. It's going to do everything through Tor, which is actually kind of sick. It's not as scary, I guess, as people make it out to be. I mean, before this, I used LM Studio. App image won't work on my Fedora. Huh. I've never used app images on Fedora. I've always used RPMs or Flatpaks. So the cool thing about RetroSwap is, so this is similar to Local Monero, cash by mail. Yeah, you can do cash by mail. Local Monero, I have used it to purchase it via Lightning. Not really my favorite method, but it's just quick. I like Lightning because it's fast. But I will probably test this out with cash by mail. I haven't done a transaction on it. Yeah, I might test this out on, with cash by mail, like with a very small amount, like as small as I can get, because I don't want to send cash by mail and it be fucking lose that cash. PSA, don't show again. The RetroSwap has been released. You can download it from GitHub. We suggest to try it out with smaller amounts. This is the first release of the app. There might be still some they have like an actual app. Local Monero was good. Yeah, it was. I understand why they. Look at that price, baby. Look, I can do fiat. You have to set up a trading account. So keep that in mind. Buy XMR. So you just go to buy and then show. They won't let you do anything until you make an account. Add a new account. Dark mode. Yeah, for real. Where is dark mode? My eyes. Thank you. Bottom right. Oh, thank God. Woo! Dark mode for darknet. So you essentially do this. Max deviation market price. That's for like those people. US dollar. You're going to manage an account. There's no account set. You could do cash. USD. Cardless cash, maybe. Cash deposit. I made a crypto MCC server using CoinGecko. I showcased it with MXMR, of course, based, as you should. I don't think a lot of people are using it at all. Probably for maybe a lot of reasons, because it's just no. They've actually, I don't know, maybe they probably are. They have to be. Account owner full name, big balls. 69. Email address, no. Wow, it's asking for a lot of information. Your account details are still locally on the device with your trading peer and arbitrage if dispute is opened. Interesting. Cash deposit. It will pick up. Yeah, I think I'll pick up. I thought there was an option to do just... I'm assuming you can just do... Cash App. Fat Wigma. USD limitations. Haha, Big Ball 69. Trading high volume on the blockchain would be super fun. They would never know. Yeah, I guess you just have to like make an account. This to limit chargeback risk. Have no sets a pure trade limit for payment account types based on two factors: general chargeback risk for the payment. The payment his account is not yet signed it, so the sign limit is by to 3 XMR per trade. After signing buy limits, it will increase this follow before signing, and 30 days after signing per trade there will be a 3 XMR. 30 days will sign a buy limit. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, okay. Whatever. You could probably still just purchase it via cash. Buy XMR. US dollar. Show all. Pay by mail. Okay, so XMR amount, minimum amount is 40 XMR. That's a lot of money. Safe handling via mail. Contact directly up to 250K. Some session ID. Okay, that sounds kind of sus. You probably want to find somebody with a filter, a small filter. Ooh, count info. Deposits, actions. Do you still order weed from the darknet when it is legal in your area? No, that'd be silly. That'd be like bad too. You could just buy it. I mean, you just buy it legally, even though it's taxed. You're not gonna get robbed though. It's gonna get robbed at the minimum maximum. Okay. Pay by mail, but I don't know if they're when they're last active. Oh. You can have different accounts. There we go. Pay by mail. Markets are sketchy. Yeah, most of them are federally run. So I wouldn't trust them. You have to like really trust these markets. You have to think about it. Too much, but there'd be no purpose in it. Postal address. Please state on your offers your country you are located in. France, countries, regions you would accept trades from. Any special terms and conditions? Limitations, max trades, postal address, France. What distro is that VM? This is Solus. What's up, Billy? Bob Jenkins 12. Account name, pay by mail. Not a federal agent. Oh, limitations. Oh, name or NIM envelope should be addressed to. Deep throat. Deep balls. Emacs. Yeah, the name is Emacs. So it looks like I could do that. Deep balls, I understand. XMR buyers should package cash in tampered evidence cash bags. Oh, nice. XMR should buy, film, or take high-resolution photos of the cash packaging and process the address and tracking number already affixed to the package. XMR buyers should send the cash package to the XMR seller with a delivery confirmation and appropriate insurance. XMR seller should film the opening of the package, make sure that the tracking number provided is visible in film, and offer must state any special terms and conditions in addition to information in the payment. Offer takes agrees to mark this offer. Pay by mail puts the owns to act the on us to act honestly, squarely on both peers. Pay by mail trades have less verifiable actions than other traditional trades. This makes handling disputes much harder. To try to resolve disputes directly with your peer using trade or chat, this is your most promising route to solve the pay by mail dispute. Arbiters can consider your case and make suggestions, but they are not guaranteed to help. Arbitrators can make the decision based on evidence provided them from reimbursement questions. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Based. Now, I could sell XMR on this. Now, see, here is the account. Lifted. This account has been signed and consigned peer accounts by XMR. Wait a minute, 30 days. Pay by mail. There's a lot of, like I could go to this person. XMR winner of 6 JD Power Awards, best class customer satisfaction. That's kind of funny. Nice. PGP key. Package funds securely multiple layers. Send cash into discrete packaging. Tracking is recommended but not required. Please send package and marked as paid within 24 hours of opening trade. By proceeding with this trade, you acknowledge that you are purchasing crypto for your own legal use and investments. No trades from New York. Damn! A New York hater. So you could confirm. What is the minimum? One 0.1. Oh, input smaller than. There we go. What is that? Does that translate to? Oh, it's almost like $500. Ooh, that is expensive. You can even, purchase it via cryptocurrency. Yeah, we'll exit have now. Do that. Sell XMR. I'll pay by literal mail, cash inside, a happy birthday postcard, grandma's son. I would oblige. You think XMR could ever reach the level of Bitcoin? Yeah, I mean, theoretically. No, actually, probably not. Monero's biggest problem is liquidity. This is something that they've discussed in long terms of length, that liquidity is the biggest problem. Monero's finite. So, but we're thinking of the word finite in terms of one thing. The main issue. Monero's tail end emissions don't make it an infinite supply. It just burns it so that it enforces some form of inflationary aspect of it, and on top of it, it incentivizes the miners. When you have a finite supply, a supply that's going to eventually run out, miners are going to compete for those bitcoins so they can get the blocks as fast as possible and reduce the circulating supply, thus increasing the price. Here, you're kind of still rewarded regardless of this this situation, and two outcomes can happen. Miners help decentralize the network and prevent a 51% attack and secure the network. Well, no, sorry, let me rephrase that. Miners ensure the security of the network, and they are rewarded in a fee market. So if Monero's prices rise, these fees that are collected with it could potentially keep them in what's the word I'm looking for? It could potentially keep them in operation so they're not losing money. So that's one part. We could just look at it really. To be honest, they've been doing tail emissions since like 2021 though. No, sorry, 2022. I'm retarded. I don't think it's going to get to Bitcoin price overnight. It's going to be a long time. I'm good on doing paper trading on trading. Yeah, I wouldn't trade Monero though. I mean, you could. So Monero's block rewards will never drop to zero. Block rewards are gradually dropped until the tail mission commence of 2022. At this point, rewards will be stay at a fixed of 0.6 XMR or less per block due to the block size penalties. Why? Miners need an incentive to mine. Because of the dynamic block size, competition between miners will cause fees to decrease. If mining is not profitable due to a high cost and low reward, miners lose their incentive and will stop mining, reducing security of the network. Tailed missions ensures that a dynamic block size and fee market can develop. This is... Oh, no. So this is essentially... it's one of the theories is it's going to create a fee market, and because if Monero's price rises, the fees are going to increase. They will get a block, plus they will benefit from the fees. That's essentially the theory. But they're now at a fixed cost of what they're going to get. So right now, if you have millions and millions of dollars worth of equipment for Bitcoin, you will get 3.5 blocks per block found. You get rewarded 3 Bitcoin. Sorry, you get rewarded 3.5 Bitcoin or something like that, which at the cost of right now is like 300 grand. So you have to be solving lots and lots and lots of blocks with tens of thousands of dollars worth of hardware constantly. So you're competing because eventually these blocks are going to run out. They assume that they're going to run out, but Bitcoin's circulating supply will be dug up and pretty much distributed by 2050, which that's a long time out. But that's not. It's kind of complicated. Because some people say that's a problem with Bitcoin is because it's really just going to be big multi-trillion dollar industries. They're going to be able to mine this because equipment's hard and the blocking is getting too difficult to solve. Monero's, because it's ASIC resistant, its CPU architecture allows anyone to enter the market and allow anyone to start mining. Are you going to get the most reward? No, not really that quick, but getting 0.6 of a block is pretty decent. I mean, that's half a Monero. That's like what right now, like 250 per block. And if it only takes you an X amount of time to solve a block by yourself, which is objectively more difficult, you would again have to start doing a CPU mining farm where you're taking all these CPUs and pretty much pulling them together and doing it yourself. You could potentially see a return. It just kind of depends. It's got its pros and cons. Monero is not profitable really to mine in terms of profitability, but people aren't going to do it for free. They need some form of incentive. So people are doing it because it secures the network, and not only because it secures the network. Oh, thank you, Code. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know what to say. So one of the thing about it is with Monero's whole point is securing the network and ensuring that there is no fighting over like hardware. This is why it hasn't gone ASIC resistant. Well, I mean, this is why it hasn't gone ASIC, and it used a CPU architecture because it knew that maybe no problem, man. I appreciate it. I'm retarded. The thing is that the thing about it is when you have ASIC miners, that creates too much of a competition where it's really could just be bought out. You can just buy you can just buy it now. You can come in with like Michael Saylor can come in with tens of millions of dollars and fucking just outperform you because he has the money. And it's not really a fair market where people have like an actual chance. That's the problem with Bitcoin in a nutshell, in my opinion. If you've ever tried to mine it, all these miners we're kind of like in the era where the gold rush, where it's now like who's making more money, the miners or like the people that are selling in the shovel. Well, probably the people that are selling in the shovel. So you have look at right here. When will Bitcoin be mined? The Bitcoin expectations were around the year 2140. Why did I think it was 2050? By 2035, over 99% of all Bitcoins will already be in circulation, with the final 105 years producing only about 5% of the total supply. The last few Satoshis, the smallest unit of Bitcoin, will mine gradually between 2136 and 2140. As rewards divide into fractions of a Bitcoin per block, despite the long timeline, the procedure is mathematically designed to ensure the total supply never exceeds 21 million coins, a cap hard-coded in the Bitcoin's protocol. Mining will not stop after 2140. Instead, miners will transition to relying solely on transaction fees or for compensation. So it's kind of like they're going to go to the fee market, but like in like 100 years, which is kind of retarded, but I think the Monero fee market is probably gonna what drives it. The Monero fee market refers to the fees associated with the various entities named Monero, including the industrial supply from stuff, whatever. Oh, Monerotopia. There we go. Minimum fees, tail admissions, and no competitive bidding. While users can technically offer higher fees, the system is designed to minimize the need for this. The dynamic block size and a low base fees means that transactions are able to confirm quickly without having to engage in a bidding war. This is what essentially Bitcoin is. For you to get your transaction faster, you are bidding higher fees to be like, hey, look at me first kind of thing. The fees are, look at that, 19 cents, baby. Man, fuck the Ethereum fees. The Ethereum gas fees were literally cancer if you were into Ethereum anywhere from like a year or two ago. Absolute cancer. And then even worse was, that's why I use Lightning, because Lightning's just much more quick, much more fast. Look at that. Zcash price slides to 423 as developer actively hits multi-year low. $3.2 million to accumulate offsets to Zcash governance checks. That's funny. God, that's sad. What was it? It was like $300 and some odd dollars. It got flipped. Oh, it's like 411 now. But it got flipped. I mean, if you bought, I guess, in the last year, you made money, but highly doubt you kept. You would have had to buy Zcash for $61 in like 2025 and then sold at like 700. That's what I would have done on the testnet. There's a video of Ethereum creator picking his nose and flicking away the snot on a live No, this is the best. That sounds. Have you ever seen what that guy looks like? He doesn't look. No, doesn't look human. This is truly the better video. I've just never been a fan of Zcash either. Like, I thought it was cool at first, and then I realized, I read it one day, and it's like transactions aren't shielded by default. I'm like, that's retarded. I should be a millionaire, but I didn't know what BTC was. Sucks. Nah, don't don't FOMO. You don't know. You don't really know where it's going to go. Bitcoin goes zero tomorrow. People say that it doesn't. They're retarded. Bitcoin's not integrated into society. Bitcoin could disappear tomorrow, and zero of society would collapse. Nothing would happen. People would be pissed, but it's not like a foundational structure that you could probably walk up to 10 people and talk about Bitcoin, and they still don't know what the fuck it is. Monero's, I've gotten only one person. They're like, "Hey, nice Monero hoodie." I'm like, "Thanks," and they looked like a virgin, so it kind of made sense. I was messing with it when I was 3. Yeah, of course. I think everyone was at some point. If you're online, you are aware. If you're on forums, you're aware of Bitcoin, I think. Like, if you go on forums, I think that's where Bitcoin was like the most popular. And if you're on like Nostr and like maybe X, maybe Twitter, yeah, like Twitter X or whatever, Blue Sky, Twitter probably more than less. They don't even know how to use it. Yeah, of course. They just hear the price, and that's all they care about. Damn it! I have to confirm my age for Foot Stallman eating something from his foot. What is it? That Should have started dealing on the site.
I don't know. Anyway,
If for a free digital society. I mean, there would be nothing wrong with it. I think.
So I hand over. Thank you very much for being here, and we're excited.
God, this is 2016. That's the best. That's the best video ever. It's just Richard Stallman eating something off his foot. He debates animal rights activists at Penn. That'd be the best thing ever, is to go to an animals rights activist and be like, how do you... Richard Stallman, my beloved, he made GNU Emacs. It'd be really funny to go up to an animal rights activist and be like, how do you guys feel about free software? God, whoever captured the audio for this is terrible. Even 8 years ago, that's embarrassing. His belly became a perfect spear. He is very bloated. For a man that hates bloat, he is bloated. I have that GNU gut also. I'm Lou. The GNU gut. Richard Stallman is definitely bloated. Maybe he should be vegan now. Like, maybe he should go and not eat meat. I hate Excel. I just saw someone talk about Excel and I got angry. Emacs has a web browser, but I forgot to compile it with the libs need to parse HTML. This is kind of a funny debate. Let's see what Emacs does. What is it? Build a what is it? OS in Emacs? Isn't that a thing? Build a second brain in Emacs with org. I've never understood what org roam is. Why do all Emacs users look the same? This can't be real.
I'm starting to feel that
I love this guy. This guy's huge brain.
Shit about like what is a keyboard, what is the AD, what is a window manager? It's something like a cargo cult. You know, where people see, oh, you're a programmer. Oh, so that means I have to mimic you. I'm starting to buy the same thing as you. When am I gonna become programmer? When am I gonna make a lot of money? When? I already bought the keyboard. I already installed Emacs. Money. This is not how it works. Sorry. This is not how.
Mr. Stallman hides his magical orb under his shirt. It shows the future of proprietary software that needs to be destroyed with his magical belly. Orb runs on multi-nested QVM VMs. No, remember, Richard Stallman doesn't know how to install Linux. This is true.
Alright, can you say your name?
Zacchaeus.
Okay, Zacchaeus? Alright. And what is this terrifying looking contraption? You got keyboards?
Yeah.
You're using apparently this guy does not normally sit down. He just walks around. And what's going on with this cyborg thing in front of your face?
This guy installed Emacs on his headset. That's kind of peak.
What is this?
So I have a heads-up display. So when you use a computer, you got input and output. So here's my output screen, and I type on the keyboard.
Uh-huh.
I have running off of Librem 5 running pure OS. I keep that installed plain, and I install Geeks Home on top of it. So my entire workflow is open up Emacs, try and close down as many windows, and just have the full screen Emacs and board report.
This is literally the terrifying dream I have always had, and you are living it. Literally walking around a horrifying FOSS cyborg using Emacs and Geeks. This is like.
That's crazy, actually. A walking Emacs and a geek. See, Billy, this is what you need to do to level up. You need to get a Purism phone, and you need to install Emacs in it, and you need to install Geeks on top of it, and you need to be mobile.
So I'm making an operating system.
Orbman. Turbocharged Emacs compiled from source. Wow. He can walk, he can play Tetris, and he can use multi-cursor on Bash to edit his file extension. Names at once. Why are you doom scrolling live? That's a good question. Let's look at what DistroTube says. Look, I had to doom scroll. And get Bitdefender. Enjoy every moment with your loved ones. Worry-free, scam-free, safe online. That is so fucked. Best brands 2020. What a fuck thing to say. Guys, enjoy your loved ones with Bitdefender. If you don't use Bitdefender, your loved ones will get hacked. That's kind of funny, actually. I just don't see the need for Emacs, though. I kind of hate it. I'm an Emacs unenjoyer. DistroTube is balder than Richard Stallman's left pinky finger. Never used Emacs in my life. I thought it would break me spiritually to use something even worse than Vim. I do hate Vim too. I'm a Vim hater. You said there's an Emacs website? Wow. Emacs web browser. The hell? Emacs has a web browser? Yeah, Vim, I just don't see the point. Yes, that's good. I don't see the point in honesty, I don't see the point in even Vim. I don't. I think Vim, people that like Vim, they just say they like Vim. Emacs is an operating system. It's true. Emacs, you can do a lot with Emacs. I mean, I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie. It's got a lot of functionality. It's really good. It's based. I get it. Just like Vim, I don't see the point though. How do I install the Emacs web browser though? It can be Richard Stallman checks his emails with Emacs? Probably. He writes so much, I'm convinced he doesn't actually fucking... he doesn't even do anything else. How do I install... The fuck? Oh, I gotta install Emacs to... God damn, man. I hate DuckDuckGo right now. Oh, I gotta install GNU Emacs. Wow, that's kind of gay. DT is Big Dome Emacs Enjoyer. Is an Emacs distro or something he liked? There's an Emacs distro? I know it can become an OS, but... Doom Emacs, I think, is an Emacs within Vim-like key binding. Yeah. I saw Doom Emacs. I'm like, why the fuck do you... Like, I don't care about key bindings, honestly. Cloud Max. Emacs in the cloud. Emacs is not just a text editor. It's often referred to as an operating system due to its extensibility and the wide range of functionality it offers, such as projects, planning, email, and more. The unique characteristics allow users to customize Emacs for various tasks beyond simple text editing. Why the fuck would you want to use your text editor as a emailer, though? GNU Emacs, University of Chicago. Emacs OS. There's no way that someone made a whole project. Obviously, it's .dev, so someone really loves Emacs. I'm an anti-key bindings advocate. What the fuck is you Yankee? Well, not regular copy paste. I've just never cared about key bindings. There's a couple hotkeys I have, but that's only so I can open up shit maybe more efficient, but I just don't care. There are some people that are like key binding nerds. They're like, I got these key bindings set up perfectly, and then like don't even get me started on dot files. Emacs is a great operating system, but it lacks a good editor. There's a joke in the programming community is that Emacs is more of an operating system than an editor. While many consider it a joke, some Emacs users do not consider it a joke. For the Emacs, more is just a text editor is a major component of how they live their life. Looks like this project is dead. There's nothing here. They're just paying for a hosting, I guess, to keep that alive. What was Doom Emacs? I think it was... I remember it, too. Of course it's on GitHub. A stubborn shell dwelling in Vimmer and base of the features of modern texture. Doom is a configuration framework for the GNU Emacs tailored for Emacs bankruptcy veterans who want less framework. In their framework, a mocodium of stability and reproducibility and from their package manager and their platform of hand rolling config or better. It can be founded on your It can be a foundation for your own config of resources. Emacs enthusiasts learn more about it. Gotta go fast. Startup and runtime are priorities. Doom goes beyond modifying packages. We'll see you later. Doom Emacs looks like a NV Chad gay. What the fuck? Yeah, I just don't. Maybe it's just because I'm not. Maybe it's just because I'm. Maybe my brain cells aren't high IQ enough to know to care. Minimalist good looks inspire a modern editors curated for sane defaults for many packages, major OSs, Emacs itself, modern organization structure for separate concerns of your config, a standard library designed to simplify your ellipse bike shedding, a declarative package management system powered by straight.le with a command line interface, install packages from anywhere, not just MELPA, and pin them to any commit. Optional Vim emulator powered by Evil Mode, including ports of popular Vim plugins like Vim Sneak, Vim Easy Motion, and Vim Unpaired, and more. Man, these Emacs people are like way too... What's the word I'm looking for? They're like very enthusiastic, I'll say, about like stuff like this. The Spaceman SQL key binding scheme centered around letter and local fix SP and SPM for evil users. This is someone who doesn't either have a wife or has a wife that doesn't care about him. Vice versa. Motherfucker wrote this in Emacs. And Nix of all things. Just like Nix. I don't get Nix. Avoid unstable and pre-release Emacs. Okay. Development package under review, temporary fixes. I love pull requests and bug reports. I also don't have a wife. It should be in the notes somewhere. At least it has an MIT license. That's kind of based. For the stubborn maintain hacker. It has the word hacker in it? I'm in. Has the word Doom? I just don't believe this is real. Support for Chinese and Japanese input systems. Isolated and persistent workspaces, all substitute for Vim tabs. Project search. Save a snapshot of your shell environment to a file. Emacs to load at startup. No more struggling to get Emacs. That's kind of cool. I mean, I guess like if you... There's nothing worse than going into an environment in it. Not being there. That's an interesting perspective of Emacs. I never got the Doom part. Maybe Parrot 07 release. It's really, really, really good. I just hate Debian. Distro. Let's see. Marco M is a Debian everything's based on Debian. Archbang is very beautiful looking. See, this is what Linux should look like. Look at those. Look at those minimalist. Your wallpapers say more about you than what you have pre-installed. If you have btop installed, if you have htop installed, and if you have nice wallpaper base distro. That loaded really slow. They use D menu. I don't know what D menu is. All I know is Omarchi is gay. And I hate it. And fuck Hyperland. Someone pointed out, they're like, guys, this isn't really bloat. The guy was like, this is not bloated, and then people were like, yeah, it is. Void offers a variety of different local AI data modes you can install using it. Okay, that's kind of cool. Parrot OS has KDE now. Home Edition is perfect for coding. I used their Home Edition once. I was like, It has Wayland, which is nice. Wayland works better on high-resolution screens than... I just want Wayland to get ported to Cubes OS to make it look better for my high-resolution screen. Ugh. Manjaro. I'm a Manjaro hater. Let's see where Parrot's at. I think Cashy is not a PSYOP. It's like a government backdoor just waiting to happen, along with Omarchi. It's got to be. There's no way that people like Arch Linux this much now, out of nowhere. It can't be real. I prefer X11 for Xander and custom resolution. I can get my res working on. Yeah, Wayland's got issues. It's more secure, but I mean, I want Wayland to succeed. It's just going to take it's just taking time, too much time. But that's free software in general. What up? What up, Sudoku? Where is... I thought they had Parrot. TinyCore is going to get it to the top with all these RAM prices. Give it time. Yo, Void. Void mentioned. void above parrot based as it should be. Debian-based security-oriented featuring. Okay. Let's see. Dario Kamomita has announced a release of Parrot 7.0, a major update of the project's Debian-based Linux distribution designed for security specialists, hackers, and developers, system administrators, and network engineers. The new version is based on Debian 13 and comes with KDE Plasma as the default desktop. The Parrot security team is pleasant to announce that the release of 7.7 represents a major milestone for the project. Its development required a complete rewrite of the system, introduced many changes that follow our mission to keep the system modern and innovative. Parrot 7 has switched to KDE Plasma. 6 features our own Plasma rising and theme to make it very lightweight, and uses Wayland by default along with the many changes introduced by Debian 13. The new build scripts offer now easy support to community-driven spins, and we plan to offer the official support and sponsorship programs to the community-created curated editions, featuring more desktop environments and configurations. Many of our scripts we created and assembled through several stages. We use a live build to generate the ISO image, while for virtual machines, we choose to adopt a custom build system. Wow, very based. They rewrote it and added KDE. The Parrot 7 has AI CyberSec tools section now, based edition. Oh, nice. Based edition indeed. Based for real. Yeah, that's quite the interesting improvement. My only thing that I hated about Parrot was a non-surf. I thought that was dog shit. But now that they went to Wayland, I mean, that's kind of an improvement. I personally wish they would have picked a rolling release based distro like Gen 2 or maybe Arch maybe Void. That would have been cooler, but it's whatever. I know why they picked Debian. A lot of people pick Debian because they want the LTS support. That's all it is. Is it lame? Yeah. But do we have to accept? Also, yeah. Gen 2 has both stable and rolling testing. Yeah, but what if I'm hacking in the middle of something and I need to compile something? Mid-hack. Is that what you want? Do you want that on your shoulders? I had to deal with package masking packages for like a week before I almost punched my monitor and figured it out. What was causing me to not update. It was a huge headache. If you guys want to see Guru Blow Try Fedora security, yeah, their security edition is very bloated. It's like Black Arch almost. For the real OG, what was it? Did you know the Linux Torvald only uses Emacs? I believe it. He what was it? You know, it'd be funny if him and Richard Stallman never met. That'd be really funny. I think he says he doesn't even really like answering his emails, or he does answer emails. Like, it's rare though, or something. I can't remember. I've watched interviews with him. He's like, no, I just like want to do software. Imagine having. I think he only answers through emails, is what it is. I thought Turbo only uses Nano. He should though. He should switch to Nano, the superior text editor. I need to get some water. All right. Yo. What just happened? Do. Welcome back, I guess. Me. Torvald builds the kernel container through email. It's the only way to contact him. Tech email. Yeah, that's true. It's the only way that he actually, what I think he said he built. Guys, he just builds everything through email. How did I find this? Nice. I found it. Kind of. This looks really bad. Can I just turn on dark mode? Yeah, there we go. Permanently destroying my OPSEC for dark mode, guys. I'm being fingerprinted. Ooh, let's see this. Mozilla. This is a lot of schizophrenic reading. We'll see. We'll see. We'll read some schizophrenic post. Did you try to daily drive Secure Blue ever? I wonder if so. It was not good because it's very restrictive, but that's the point. It's nothing against Secure Blue. I just don't like that much restrictiveness. It's restrictive for a reason though, because it's supposed to put a security above it. I tried Bazite too, and I didn't like it. CubesOS is not restrictive in the sense that like the only thing it's restrictive on is how you treat Dom 0, because Dom 0 is like the keys to the castle kind of thing. Like, don't fuck with Dom 0 and that's it. And if you gotta remember, you gotta know how to the most annoying thing is updating to a new major release, like from Fedora 40 to Fedora 41. That's annoying. That is something that I could see people getting stuck on, like what to do. But it's once you read the documentation, it's very easy. Because you got to pretty much update all the software to the new version, and then back up all your cubes that rely on that software, like the XFC 40, XF 40, whatever, and you got to switch it. You got to switch it over to the new version. There's some like steps in it, but it's not as bad. That's like Cube's most annoying part is when major releases get there. But it's not restrictive because everything is kind of like segmented anyways. Okay. If you haven't been living under a rock for the last decade, when was this done? People are installing GNOME on Dom 0. Is that a bad thing to do? No. You can switch it. It's just not supported. So if you run into issues, changing the desktop environment isn't really the issue. Wayland is actually far more better. And once they find a way to port Wayland over to CubesOS, because he does use X11, it would increase the security footprint. XFC is just like resource. It uses less resources, but a lot of it was written with. I mean, Wayland isn't fully mature, so there's a thread somewhere on the internet. If you find it, it's an interesting thread. There's a DWM fork for Wayland. Oh, nice. Are you going to use it? Do you have enough resources? So there's an interesting fork thread on the internet that talks about GPU isolation and why gaming on CubesOS is insecure because it uses X11. X11 doesn't isolate the GPU process essentially, and this is what makes it less secure. Wayland solves this, I believe. It does some form of sandboxing in the GPU architecture, like it sandboxes it, thus increasing the security. So you could potentially get GPU pass through in the future. Like there might be a possibility in the future where CubesOS could get GPU pass through as long as it's handled correctly, and it would probably be with an external GPU. What you would have to do is what I saw one proposal was you would take one of the, just like how you have a virtual machine for everything, you would have a Wayland virtual machine that handles all the processes in between you and the display server. So like say you want to watch a YouTube video in like one of your VMs, it would open up the window for the YouTube to play it, but the Wayland virtual machine itself would handle the process, thus isolating it and preventing it from having complete access to the system, which would be kind of sick if someone could create and port a virtual way to virtualize Wayland in this sense, where it handles all the processes of watching videos or any display manager pop-ups, etc., in its own separate VM, with obviously GPU pass-through like possible, and maybe like on a click base, like this can have GPU, like the GPU process put for this, like a portion of like cutting up your GPU to do this. The major issue in perspective is NVIDIA is a notorious set pile of shit for this. If you've ever watched anyone try to split up NVIDIA GPUs to use them in like a hypervisor, like for like say you want 5 gamers to be able to game on one gaming rig with like Proxmox or something like that. GPU split native GPU pass through has notoriously been a headache, and splitting up GPUs, splitting up graphics cards, cutting them up, and using them without. I think it's a licensing thing that's an issue. There's Craft Computing on YouTube has a whole series of this and complains and talks about why it's an issue. But it sucks, from what I understand. It's possible, but it sucks and it's gay, and that's why AMD is sometimes more superior because they're really contributing to like the open source community, and I believe they support natively GPUs, like splitting up GPU threads, like cores, sections of it, to like be able to distribute it to like other people. But I digress. Think about it. If you had a house full of like 4 people instead of what's up, man? If you had a house with like 4 people that all wanted to game, instead of each person buying one game, like one gaming machine, like you could just all put your money into one really powerful gaming machine, and you all could just game on one machine, which would be kind of sick, because then you would be able to you would only need one PC, and you could split all those services up, and just it would be less messy. You could just have a keyboard and mouse, and I'll do 1080p gaming. All right. Later, Billy. Appreciate you stopping by. I was reading funny things on the internet. I convinced human lady friend to switch to Linux. She wants to play video games. What would be the beginner option for such an endeavor? One or Proton, wine, bottles. I use Proton. Proton. Glorious egg roll is kind of nice. Well, actually, I gotta reverse that. What GPU does she? Which graphics card does she have? Seems very long. Formula 216. This is such an interesting. That's what I love. If it's an old integrated graphics card, then I mean, Glorious Egg Roll is kind of nice. It's like kind of good, like option for making games work. But I just use Proton if I need to. I install. All she has to do is install Steam and switch to Proton. Is natively supported, I think, in Steam now. At least I've got I've used it in Steam, and I've never had an issue. Gaming has just gotten so easy. Yo, I want a wearable Doomslayer helmet. What about limited edition mass remote controlled Nomad? Oh, based. This guy's just mad. I will say this is the biggest problem with gaming: the microtransactions. $12 for 1,000 coins, $24 for this and all these bonuses. Okay, I'll try Proton then. Thank you. Yeah, no problem, man. Awesome. I will save this, guys, schizophrenic rats for the next one. It is big EPBP time. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all stopping by and watching and rejoining me on the internet after Big Boom, 5 Big Booms. And I also appreciate everyone commenting on the videos, because it ensures that YouTube knows I'm a real person and I enjoy all their policies. I have nothing bad to say about them. They're the greatest platform on the planet. Make sure to also comment on the videos and like it, because if you don't, your snail will no longer live, and that is not a good thing. It is an awesome thing. Make sure you also feed and walk your snail. Appreciate y'all. You guys have a wonderful night.